Hello and welcome back to Movies You Missed podcast. I'm Vee.
John here.
And thank you so much for joining us this week. We are doing comedies from actually the same year. That was an accident when I picked my movie.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I did a quick just IMDb on yours. I was like, this has to be like 1988. And then I thought the same about mine. So I was like, oh, these are likely the same year. And then, yeah, 1991. Boom.
So we are doing 1991 comedies that everybody has forgotten about.
That's for sure. I had never even heard about your movie, so...
I think the last time I'd watched your movie, I was 7 or 8.
Okay. See, I think I was 13 or 14 when I actually really, truly watched it the last time.
I think that's about the same time I watched my movie. So we are basically going in blind to this comedy episode. I'm really looking forward to these conversations about these two movies.
This is going to be an interesting one.
It's going to be like a Water for Elephants episode.
Oh, God. I was thinking the exact same thing, literally. Halfway through my movie, I'm like, am I going to talk about even liking my pick anymore? I don't know what's going to happen, but
might
we're
be
doing
an
it.
accidental episode. This might be new
we're
for
here.
us. Actually, it could just be a Movies We Hate episode on accident.
It may become that at one point or another, and I think we might just both hate the same fucking movie.
Maybe. So
Maybe.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we do have some announcements. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. I know we have been a little less consistent on our releases this year for episodes. That is 90% been my fault. About 10% with your move was yours. Otherwise, it's
Sure.
purely in my camp as to why we haven't been releasing episodes
Balls in your court.
on the regular this year. I'm going through some major life changes and unfortunately been taking up a lot of the time that I usually dedicate to this podcast. So, John and I have made a decision that we are going to be releasing episodes every other week for the rest of the year. We're going to space them out a little bit. We are going to continue making this podcast because we love it so much and we love each other and you guys, and also really appreciate the support you've been giving us over the last 4 years. And so we will continue to talk about movies, but we will spread our episodes out. However, we will be releasing something every week. On the Wednesdays that we don't release an episode, we will release a short that discusses the new movies we've seen in theaters or on streaming over the last week. So you'll still be able to hear us every week. We'll just be changing up our content a little bit. And we look forward to getting back to our regularly scheduled broadcasting, hopefully in 2027.
Yes, indeed.
And thanks to John for rolling with all of this, too.
Rolling, 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 rolling.
I was thinking, they see me rolling. They hate But
There's that one.
But the Weird Al Yankovic.
The Weird Al version of Wide and Nerdy. Gotta get me wide and nerdy.
Oh my God, I love that music video so much.
Yes.
Is
Weird
it
Al
Redman
videos
in
have
it?
always been... I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
great.
I'd seen it when it first came out, but I don't think I've ever seen it ever since then. But yeah, Weird Al videos are always great, as are his concerts. He's doing a massive tour again. I think I'm going to try and drag Amy
He's in
to
his
see him
70s,
again.
isn't he? And I hear his concerts are incredible.
I don't know. I guess, 60s or 70s. He's got to be.
Yeah.
He's
been doing this since
but he's
the
still
80s.
going strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still kicking ass. The show her and I went to last year was fan-fucking-tastic. It was the second time I got to see him live, other than having the opportunity to work with him when I worked at Funny or Die, which was amazing as well. He's a really badass guy just all around. So definitely recommend seeing Weird Al in concert if you have not.
I've actually been getting back into going to concerts recently. I didn't go for a couple years. I used to go once or twice a month to concerts. And I'm so stoked to be seeing live music again. I just went to a concert actually last week with my sister Amber, so that was really fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so...
Where'd you go to?
His
You can't just talk about a concert and then not say who you went to see.
His name's Luke Bryan. He's a country singer.
Well, you could have just left that out.
I know! That's why I didn't say who it was!
Oh, I'm just curious
knew
who
you
you're
were
going
gonna
to see because I
judge
know
me.
you're a metalhead. But
I am.
Country? Come on.
The only... Yes, I pride myself on listening to a variety of genres.
Yeah, that's all right. Country is one I steer very clear of. I
It's
can't...
very divisive, I get it.
Very much so, yeah. I think there's... When I was in high school, my buddy Alex made a CD, burned a CD of like 10 or 12 like 90s classic country songs. Alan Jackson, George Strait,
Garth Brooks.
Some good shit. Of course, Thunder Rolls, right? Definitely. Kenny Chesney was on there with 2 pina coladas and no shoes, no shirt, no problem. So there, I
That's a great
like
song.
some of those. It is. But I can't do any country these days. It's just so terrible, in my opinion. I'm glad you had fun at Luke Bryan, but that is, nope, not for me.
Well, I will say that I'm going to force you to listen to Reba McEntire's theme song of the movie Tremors when I cover it.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. I always kind of had a thing for Reba. I think it was
Because
the red
she's
hair.
hot and awesome? Yeah.
Yeah, and she still is.
And she's a
I remember
badass.
when I was younger, my parents and I would go to Applebee's every now and then, and right before you went into the restroom, there was a huge Reba McEntire picture, and I would always be like, oh, hey, Reba.
Fair.
But yeah, her music, not for me, but her looks certainly are.
Well, and at some point, maybe we can do an episode of musical artists being in movies. That could be a good episode.
That could be fun. Is Reba in a movie? I know she's got
She
like 2
stars in
shows that are
Tremors. How
absolutely-
dare you?
Oh, I haven't seen Tremors, I think, since I was like
God,
8
I love
years
that
old.
movie. Yeah, my grandma
Yeah.
introduced me to that movie right around that age, and it traumatized the shit out of me. But now I love it.
Awesome. Well, I definitely support you going to more concerts. I went to 2 last week, so that was fantastic. Yeah.
But instead of talking about the 2 concerts you went to last week, since
Oh, you're not
going
going to ask me who I went and saw?
movie
That's
podcast.
nice
Well, it's
of
a
you.
movie podcast. I should really stop this tangent while we're ahead and actually ask you what new movies you've seen in theaters or on streaming instead.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. I went and saw Devil Driver and Pepper and the Movement, and they were great shows. But anyway, the movies that I saw last week on streaming and in theaters, I saw 8 new movies, and I'm going to start with, like I always do, the terrible movies that I put myself through. I didn't actually finish this one because I fell asleep. This is an Apple TV produced movie directed by Jonah Hill, starring Keanu Reeves and Cameron Diaz and Jonah Hill. It's a movie called Outcome. It is horrible.
Because Jonah Hill sucks.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, I'm not down with these days anymore.
Have you heard any of his recent interviews? He's also a douche.
No, I have not. I guess
He's
I've
had some-
steered clear of... I really don't watch a lot of interviews. I don't watch late night talk TV. I like Graham Norton, but only small clips these days. I can't sit there for an hour and a half and watch that kind of stuff.
Oh,
unless
no,
it's-
these are interviews either in magazines or on podcasts, and I read them. And people
gotcha.
or they come up as a headline of Jonah Hill said this in an interview, or this came out about how Jonah Hill treats his girlfriend. And yeah, the last couple years,
I remember hearing some of
you're
that.
You're gonna laugh at this. So he recently had an interview. He's lost a bunch of weight.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing jujitsu.
Oh,
and he said,
good for him.
I will destroy anyone out there. I'm amazing at jujitsu. And so if anyone comes up to me and calls me the fat kid from Superbad, be prepared to be annihilated. And he's like a white belt.
Oh, boy. Is white belt the first belt?
Yeah, he started doing it like 3 months ago.
Yeah, well, hey, I guess carry that confidence with you, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie blows. Like I said, I fell asleep in it about 25 minutes in, and I didn't give a shit enough to go back and start it over or, pick it up from that point. Keanu Reeves was awful. Everybody sucked. It was just not a good movie.
Oh, that sucks he was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. So there's that one. That is definitely a absolutely should miss for 2026. The next one I watched... was another Apple-produced movie starring Jake Johnson and Mary Steenburgen, and Ed Harris somehow got involved in this movie. And this movie is called The Dink, and it's about a guy that is a tennis instructor that had a blossoming career that ends up playing pickleball with older women. And it was okay. I laughed a few times, but it really...
Why is it called The Dink?
Apparently, when you play pickleball and you win, as the ball hits the court, that's called the dink. So
we're not old
it's
enough to know that because we don't play pickleball.
I guess not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jake Johnson's character was kind of like, the fuck is the dink? And I'm like, yeah, what the hell is this? I thought the dink was like, oh, you dink, like you idiot.
The funny thing is that DINKS is an acronym for dual income, no kids.
Okay, well, I guess I'm a dink then.
Yes, and so am I. That's the context I know it in, which is why I asked.
Fascinating. Yeah, this movie has nothing to do with dual income, no kids at all. It teeters on could and should because there were a couple of funny moments, and Mary Steenburgen is still really hot.
Mm-hmm.
Next movie I watched, V, you might want to watch this one. I'm actually totally kidding. But this one I put on with Amy, and about 5 minutes into it, she goes, okay, either turn this off or I'm leaving. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll turn it off. This is starring Mark Wahlberg, Paul Walter Hauser, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Molly Shannon, and Benjamin Bratt. This is a movie called Balls Up. about a condom company that creates a condom that not only covers the full penis, but the testicles as well. And it has 5 moments that are really fucking funny, but in the entire hour and 45 minutes, it was definitely not that great. There are far better raunchy comedies out there, so if you want to check it out, give it a shot. It is completely forgettable, but it is a fine turn your brain off and just watch the movie type movie. Yeah, you're speechless. I can see you have nothing to say about that one. Where do you go with this one?
The amount of people a script has to go through to be approved for pre-production, let alone making the film, is like 20.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
So how does a concept like this even get off the ground?
I understand the concept. I think it's actually a pretty funny idea. Balls up. They're covering the whole thing, so women aren't getting smacked. It's very raunch. It's very...
Oh my God, yes.
It is what it is. It's just... Yeah. It's on Amazon Prime if you want to check it out. That's all I will say. Moving on to the next one.
Yeah, moving on.
This movie was so fucking frustrating, and it's even more frustrating seeing how many people are just totally being like, oh, it's so fun. It's terrible CGI, a terrible script, and absolutely horrendous direction. This is Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor in The End of Oak Street.
People are falling over themselves to praise this movie online.
I think it is forced in every single fucking regard, because I saw it in a pretty full theater, and all I kept hearing were groans and moans.
So it's PR.
It is, yeah, it's totally, it's... The concept is there. The End of Oak Street is the multi-million-dollar theatrical release version of that piece of shit movie I watched the other week called The Last House. There's no exposition. It just ends. Mm-hmm. They have to shove it down your throat that it's 1982, but only when there's 5 minutes left in the movie. The first line of the movie made me irritated immediately. And
that's a bad start.
The CGI on these dinosaurs is atrocious. It's absolutely terrible. It just...
How did you get Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor in there, though? That's
apparently
the thing that
Anne Hathaway
shocked me.
Yeah, she watched It Follows with Micah Monroe, who was the director of End of Oak Street's first horror movie, and she was like, I want to work with him. And he actually did a movie that I enjoyed years ago with Andrew Garfield called Under the Silver Lake, which is a pretty good flick. Mm-hmm. I never did see It Follows, which I like Micah Monroe, so I will likely give that one a shot because I like horror movies. But this movie was just fucking dumb. Like, it was so dumb. And people are like, it's Spielbergian. And okay, this is my take. If you want to watch a great sci-fi movie set in the 80s, just rewatch Super 8. Just rewatch Super 8.
Shout out to one of my movies. Thank you.
Yeah, no, Super 8 is a well-done movie. And J.J. Abrams produced End of Oak Street. And some of the interviews that I'm watching with the director and Abrams, it's like Abrams is holding this guy's hand like, here you go, buddy, here you go, like silver plattering him. And this movie sucks. End of Oak Street sucks. Okay. And if you liked it, cool. I hated it. So those are the worst that I watched over the last week. The other streaming movie that I watched stars Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Carl Urban. This is a pirate movie set in 1800s. This is a movie called The Bluff.
I like both of them, and I love the genre, but I can't imagine it being very good.
Oh, it's not very good at all, but it's a lot of fun. It's brutal. Like, there are some kills in that movie that are pretty badass. I can't help but think that Priyanka did some of her own stunts because of the way the camera was surrounding her. I'm hoping that was the case. I did watch the credits, and I didn't see... I didn't really pay too much attention because it's kind of like my brain was turned off. This movie also starred Safia Oakley Green. She was in a movie that I talked about years ago called Out of Darkness. That was a Neanderthal horror movie. Came out in early 2022. I really liked that movie. I don't know if anybody actually has seen it ever since. And another cool revelation about Out of Darkness was my friend Laura Radford was the set photographer on that movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And actually, Laura Radford, another shout out, was the set photographer on second unit of Spider-Man Brand New Day. So that's pretty fucking cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. She posted some pretty cool pictures on Facebook. So, other than that, I went and saw last week the 6th chapter of the Insidious universe, Insidious Out of the Further. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but it had some good freaky moments in the first half hour of the movie. Kind of fizzles out towards the end, but overall an enjoyable movie. And I gotta say, so far, the Insidious series has been pretty damn good.
I always get that series and the Conjuring series conflated because don't they both have to do with a doll? Or is Patrick Wilson in both? Or
Patrick Wilson is in both.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson is in the Conjuring universe, and he's also in the Insidious movies. And the last Insidious movie, The Red Door, was his directorial debut, which was actually a pretty good chapter of the Insidious world. And I guess I saved this one for last, and it's not the best out of any of the movies that I watched over the last week, but I went and saw the new Jason Statham movie, Mutiny.
It's not January. He shouldn't be releasing a movie.
I know. I was thinking that halfway through the movie while I was sitting there in the theater. I went to a 5 o'clock show on Thursday last week, so it technically came out Friday, but Regal likes to show movies that are coming out Friday on Thursday. So I went. The theater had a good amount of people in it, and it's an hour and a half and 85 minutes of literally nothing, and then 10 minutes of awesome. And Mutiny is a big fat C- for me. It's better than Shelter, which came out at the beginning of the year, but it's still not that great.
I'm so glad I stopped at The Beekeeper then.
Ha! Yeah! Beekeeper was so great. And then Working Man, and then Shelter. Beekeeper's the best one of the 5 or 4 that he's done over the last few years.
So it sounds like you had a mediocre 2 weeks of movies.
Yeah, it was mediocre. I would say the best one that I watched was definitely Insidious Out of the Further, and then I think The Bluff follows that as a very close second, and then Mutiny, and then the rest of them can just...
be forgotten.
Be forgotten, exactly, yeah.
Well, all right.
So that's
then.
what I saw. V, did you see anything?
I did not. I saw the movies for this episode, though.
Hey, that's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. At least I'm prepared for this conversation.
Yes, you are.
All right, so should we get into them? It is an odd episode, which means you go first. Yeah, and this week there's no opportunity for chronological order, so it doesn't matter.
That's very true. Yeah, let's dive into 1991. I think this might be the first 1991 movie that I've done.
I know I've done one.
Isn't Last of the Mohicans 1991?
92.
Ah, close enough.
No,
right.
You've done...
Oh, boy. What
None.
was it?
You were way off. This is your 5th 1991 movie. Holy shit.
Snap. Really? Wow.
Your mom's
I'm actually kind of surprised by that.
of Defending Your Life.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
White Fang.
Oh, yeah.
Your movie this week. And then, actually, this is an upcoming episode, but an American Tail series.
Five Goes West.
That we have for an episode.
Yeah.
So it's currently your 4th, but yeah, we've done it
Sweet.
a lot.
All right. Well, sounds good.
Pretty good year for movies, apparently.
Yeah, 1991 was not bad at all, although we'll see
yeah,
this one.
After this conversation.
1991, like we just said, this story is written by Alvin Sargent and Laura Siskin, screenplay by Tom Schulman. This film stars Richard Dreyfuss, Julie Haggerty, Charlie Corsmo, Catherine Erb, and Bill Murray. This movie is directed by Frank Oz. This movie is titled What About Bob? Now, What About Bob is an hour and 39 minutes of Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss going at it at each other in multiple different ways. Bob Wiley, played by Bill Murray, is a very neurotic, paranoid... psychotic gentleman that is reassigned to a new therapist from his previous therapist. And he's assigned to Dr. Leo Marvin, played by Richard Dreyfuss. He is, you can tell that he's one of those hoity-toity therapists. He's got a high-rise building office. He's got a lot of money, and he just dropped a new book called Baby Steps that is climbing the charts. And Good Morning America is thinking that maybe they'll go out to his lakeside home while he's on vacation with his family to do an interview with him about his book Baby Steps. In walks Bob Wiley, and they get to know each other for a few minutes. We find out that Bob's divorced and that he really needs therapy big time. He's also got the issue, like most of these 90s movies where somebody's kind of crazy, is they don't like to leave their apartment. I will say the first time I watched this movie, I thought it was kind of hilarious how he says goodbye to his fish. He goes, "Gotta go to work now," and he just turns around and he's at his desk at work.
Did like that.
That was pretty funny. He's also got severe anxiety, so he definitely needs therapy. Dr. Leo Marvin's like, "Well, hey, let's continue this on. Here's my book, Baby Steps. Get on reading this. Baby steps to everything. Baby steps home. Baby steps to coming out of your apartment, starting to meet people, kind of get rid of your anxiety, open up a little bit." Dr. Leo Marvin says to him, "We will discuss all of this when I come back in a month." And Bob kind of starts losing his mind. He goes, "What do you mean? What if I need you?" He goes, "Well, I'm going on vacation for the next month. I imagine my secretary told you about this." And he goes, "Oh, well, what am I going to do for a month?" He goes, "I'll have an on-call doctor that you can call and talk to, etc. Just like any other therapy office would have."
Yeah.
Leo sends Bob on his way, is just about ready to get the hell out of town and go on vacation for a month up to Lake Winnipesaukee with his family and his wife Faye, played by Julie Haggerty, and his son Sigmund, played by Charlie Corsmo. Corsmo we talked about during Hook, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the note I made about Charlie Corsmo is that he has shitty fathers.
In movies, yes, absolutely. And I also talked about him in Dick Tracy not too long ago.
God, the worst father in that one.
Yeah, big time. And his daughter's name is Anna, and apparently Ziggy and Anna are both named after Sigmund Freud and Sigmund Freud's daughter, Anna. So they're trying to implement the idea that Dr. Leo Marvin has a bit of a thing for Sigmund Freud and his practice.
Well, I think it's more along the lines that he's so involved and passionate about his career that he puts that on his family as well.
Sure.
And his career is bleeding into his family and prioritizes his career over his family. And I think that was the message.
Typical.
And when he's up in his office talking about all the great stuff that's happening to him in his book, I was thinking of a saying. I don't know if your family ever said this, but I remember this saying back in the 90s. He likes the smell of his own farts.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That is the description of Dr. Leo Marvin
many times.
in this movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think another great line is after he sends Bob Wiley away, he picks up his tape recorder and he goes, charge Bob Wiley the typical amount and $29.95 for the book.
Yeah.
Instead of just giving him the fucking book, he's like,
God,
charge him for the book. He's a bit of a douche canoe for sure.
Oh, God.
And of course, his wife, played by Julie Haggerty. Just how can you not like Julie Haggerty?
So much.
She's fantastic. She plays Mrs. Claus in Noelle, a previous pick of mine. She was the mother of Ryan Reynolds' character in V's vetoed pick of Just Friends when I was gonna do Just Friends many years ago. She's also in the Airplane movies. Has had quite the career. She's also in one of the worst movies ever made called Freddy Got Fingered with Tom Green. No idea how that movie even made it past the 20 people through pre-production.
Right? She's so good
awful.
At being a mom.
Yes.
Anytime she's a mom in movies, I know at least I'm going to have a good time with her scenes because she's also a mom in She's the Man with Amanda Bynes.
Yes, that's right. Yes, she is.
And she's trying to get she's trying to get her daughter to be a debutante, and she's so hilarious the whole movie. And she's one of those great character actors who pops up, and at least her scenes are going to be solid if nothing else.
I fully agree with that.
I've never
help put a smile on my face every time I see her.
I've always seen her as she's older in all the movies we just mentioned, and so I actually, because I've only seen Airplane once when I was a kid, I need to rewatch it.
Oh yeah,
I never made the connection that she's like the beautiful flight attendant, right?
Yes, yeah, that's her.
And the conversation about a hospital.
I believe so. Yes, that's her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Wow, that's awesome.
I haven't seen Airplane in a long ass time either, but I mean, everybody knows Airplane.
Yes.
So now that Dr. Marvin is on his way to vacation, Bob is starting to have a complete mental breakdown in his apartment. He's calling the switchboard to get in touch with Dr. Marvin, and the young lady on the switchboard's like, I can't give you Dr. Marvin, he's on vacation. And one thing leads to another where Bob ends up going to the switchboard office and saying that Bob Wiley unfortunately just committed suicide. Is there an address that I can get for Dr. Leo Marvin so he can make a statement, etc., etc.? This young lady gives him the address, and now Bob is on his way to Lake Winnipesaukee to have his conversation with Dr. Leo Marvin. So he not only does he lie about killing himself, he clearly can make it to the bus station to get on the bus, to get that bus to Lake Winnipesaukee and end up in a new town. And he doesn't seem to have a whole lot of problems with actually landing there, especially when he finds Dr. Marvin, and Dr. Marvin is completely beside himself with the fact that Bob has now shown up, and he's saying, meet me in this cafe at 2 o'clock. I will call you. I will not meet you here in person. I'm on vacation. This is inappropriate. Bob is standing in the cafe waiting for the phone to ring. He's still got an hour, but he's keeping people from using the phone. And one thing leads to another where Bob now actually is able to get to Dr. Leo Marvin's house because the proprietors of the cafe were originally going to buy the house that Dr. Leo Marvin is now living in with his family.
I love that.
And they hate him so much for that. You son of a bitch. She never says that. I love that whole part.
Me too.
So these two lovely people drive Bob Wiley up to Lake Winnipesaukee to Dr. Leo Marvin's house, and now Bob is now starting to slowly infiltrate his family vacation, meets his children, meets his wife, and of course, this ends up being the type of movie where everybody loves Bob and everybody hates Dr. Marvin. And for the rest of the movie, we are along for the ride while Bob not only irritates the audience, but irritates Dr. Leo Marvin to the point where maybe Leo Marvin starts to lose his fucking mind as well. And that is the breakdown of What About Bob? Like I said, I think the last time I watched this movie, I was like 14. My parents bought it on DVD in like 2001, 2002. We sat down, we watched it as a family. I loved it when I first saw it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I don't love it anymore. I watched this movie and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I fucking hate Bob.
Yeah.
And this goes back to our discussion of the drama, discussion of 500 Days of Summer. The villain is fucking Bob.
Yeah.
Dr. Leo Marvin is not the villain in the story.
No. I mean, he's a dick, but he's not a villain.
He's totally a dick, yes. But rightfully so.
Yeah.
He's doing what he can to keep his professional relationship with this psychotic
Oh, no,
human
I just
being.
mean before Bob shows up, he's an arrogant guy.
Oh, yeah. No. But
everything
overall,
he says and does is reasonable in this movie.
It absolutely makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
it totally makes sense to keep him away from his family. So not only do I not like it anymore, I still laughed at a couple of moments.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I watched it back then. I loved it. Now that I'm 40, I don't like this movie anymore. It was one of those certainly 1 or 2 time watches when I was a teenager, and I was like, oh, yeah, this movie is hilarious. And it's really not anymore. It kind of really reminded me more of like Ross from Friends, and I was just like, I fucking hated Ross on Friends.
Yeah,
And
I hate
him. Friends in general. That show is atrocious. Yeah, and the overacting of Bill Murray in certain scenes, like when he calls him and he like hangs up, he goes, "That was not smart." It's like, shut the fuck up. But anyway, V, what did you think? What About Bob from 1991?
Oh, I was so looking forward to this episode because I think it's going to be a unique situation. We're both going to love these conversations. The only thing I remembered about this movie, because like I said, the last time I watched it, I was like 8. My
Yeah.
dad hated this movie.
Oh, really?
Hated it. And we used to
wow.
watch it as kids, and we thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my dad always said that Bob was the worst, and
Yeah.
this movie is insufferable. And now I understand what my dad meant.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Totally.
There were a couple funny moments.
There definitely were funny moments.
When he says that he kills himself, he pretends to be a cop and to the switchboard. And so the switchboard calls Dr. Marvin at his vacation home, and it's the middle of the night, and he's like, oh God. And he picks up the phone, says, oh no, okay, one of my patients just died. Ah, well, let's not let it spoil our vacation.
Let it ruin our vacation. Yeah. It's totally true though. You know, like he only met him once. It's not like, and that's kind of fucked up to say because like granted I've met people once and then find out maybe they've unfortunately not done so well.
No, but it's okay. It's okay that he acted like that. But it also shows his character, which is understandable.
Yeah, totally.
It's yet another example of why movie surprise parties are always the worst.
Oh gosh, I know. Yeah.
But this movie goes along with this trope that was going on in the 90s of
big time.
insufferable men joining families, like Captain Ron, for example.
Never saw it.
Same premise. And
Okay.
there's a bunch of them like
Kurt
that.
Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah. And there are so many. House
Martin
Guest.
Short. Hey,
is Martin Short and Captain Ron? I think you might be
so.
right, actually.
I think he's the dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, House Guest with Sinbad?
Yeah, isn't that a similar situation?
That movie is amazing.
But
and
that
I need to
movie's
revisit.
great. Yeah. Phil Hartman.
Phil
yes,
Hartman
of
was
course.
incredible in that film. I love that movie so much. It's going to be on the list at some point. I have to rewatch it.
Perfect.
But yeah, and so there were some points that I laughed, but the whole time I'm thinking, who the hell would be okay with this? Why is his family just going along with this guy who they don't know, who their professional father is saying is a psychopath? Like that family would be packing up their shit and leaving in the middle of the night and never telling anyone where they went.
Exactly.
And so this whole like, oh, it's okay, he should join us for dinner. I'm like, that would never happen.
I know, yeah. And at one point Faye's like, you know what, Leo? Right is right. It's like,
no.
Yeah, and then the dinner scene, oh gosh. That was I
it
think
went
that
on
was
so
the point
long.
where I was kind of like, okay, this is enough. I'm done. Like, I'm finished with this. And then there are still a few funny moments later on in the movie. Like I gotta say though, like right before the final end of the movie, like there's when Dreyfuss and it's Bill Murray in the forest. That shit's hilarious.
I
thought that was
hilarious.
Really,
I love
really
that part.
funny.
Yeah, and so I
that
don't
was great.
hate this movie. I'll never watch it again. I'm
I don't
glad
think
I
I'll ever
rewatched
watch it
it
again
just to
either.
revisit it so I could have a point of reference for my father.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
remember that I watched it as a kid. And so for me, I was really looking forward to this discussion for both of these movies, actually, because I think we could remind our audience about, these films, but also about movies maybe they loved as children and maybe they should revisit and see if they still like them. And that's okay. And that's a good discussion. And so I'm not upset that we didn't like your movie. Or maybe not even mine, we'll see. Because at least it leads to a good discussion and we can talk about movies that we've forgotten and need to be revisited no matter what, right? Like, even if they're terrible, they were worth revisiting just so we know.
They definitely were, yeah. And when I remember putting it on the list, and when I put it on the list, I was like, is this a funny movie, though? It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Right.
But I just think back to when I first watched it with my family. Like, my parents they loved this movie.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where like, oh my gosh, what about Bob? So great. Bill Murray's so great. And when, like I said, when we watched it, the whole family was laughing. Because, and the moment when he's on the sailboat and like he's like, I was sailing, ahoy! Like that's funny.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. Yeah. But then like,
I just love when he shows up and Richard Dreyfuss accidentally lets go of his son.
That's great. Yeah, and he's like murderer.
Yeah, Charlie Korsmo's lines in this movie are great.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. He was a pretty good kid actor, definitely.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah,
and there is one scene that I really loved. And I'm hoping you're okay with us using the audio clip for it. It's when Charlie Korsmo and Bill Murray are having a sleepover together.
Tourettesing?
No, having a sleepover in his room, and Richard Dreyfuss comes in and yells at them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
Great.
Would you like something for sleep?
What?
I have Valium if you need it.
No, I don't need any Valium.
Halcyon? Seconal?
I want some peace and quiet.
Well, I'll be quiet.
I'll be peace.
I just thought that was funny. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah, that moment is great, and I actually do like the Tourette's moment, especially when Bob's finally on his way out and he says goodbye to Sig. He's like, "Goodbye, lick dick, suck nut."
The kids
that stuff is funny. That is funny, but overall, just like the neurosis and
I thought the original Tourette's scene in The Office was really funny because
if I fake it, I don't have it.
Like, what?
I like that moment too, yeah.
And just the stuff that came out of his mouth, I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there were some funny parts. I mean, there are movies that you watched last week that you hated more than this film.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes, 100%.
exactly.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't think I ever will put myself through What About Bob again. It was a good revisit for the reminder of like, yeah, there are funny moments. And Bill Murray certainly did overact like crazy in this movie.
Yeah.
And he and Richard Dreyfuss apparently had no fun making this movie together because Bill Murray was driving him absolutely insane. And it got to a point where actually Bill Murray had a breakdown on the set to where they shut down production and they flew everybody home.
Whoa.
And then they got everybody back, but they hired 2 different bodyguards, one for Bill Murray and one for Richard Dreyfuss, so they could stay away from each other unless they were shooting scenes together.
They had minders.
And then back in 2020, Richard Dreyfuss, during an interview, this movie was brought up, and he said that he was ready now to forgive Bill Murray for the way he acted on the set of What About Bob.
Wow, that took a while.
It took a long time. Yeah, 1991 to 2020. That's literally almost 3 decades.
Well, and this is the thing that I was a little bit perplexed by. Frank Oz directed this movie.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
We've talked about him a bunch. He is known for being immensely talented and being, I don't want to call it highbrow, but elevated comedies, right? He doesn't make raunchy comedies, doesn't make stupid movies.
Right.
And he's directing this. I'm like, where did this even come from? You'd think that Frank Oz would have had some guardrails to prevent one of his movies coming out being stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
It's like Christopher Nolan putting out a movie that is low quality. It's just not possible, right? And so the idea that Frank Oz made a movie that wasn't funny really surprised me, and that's what I thought about a lot throughout.
Yeah, no, that's a completely solid thing. When I was reading research on this movie, I was curious what Frank Oz had to say about it. And it was really more
Sorry?
the fact
Did
that
he say sorry?
no, he did
Okay.
not. He did not apologize for the movie because it actually was a pretty big hit when it came out in 1991. This was, of course, when Bill Murray had just Stripes and Caddyshack and all these other movies that
Right.
were rising his star were popular, and Richard Dreyfuss, Jaws, and a couple other movies by then. I don't think Mr. All Opus had come out yet, but
Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
no, exactly. Yeah, one of my past picks, director's cut. Yeah. But it was the highest grossing live action film released by Disney in 1991,
Oh,
so I don't
my
think
God.
Frank Oz
This beat
really
out
was.
White Fang badly. That's annoying.
I know, yeah,
That's
it really
really
did.
annoying.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Frank Oz did want other people to play Dr. Marvin. He originally approached Patrick Stewart about playing Dr. Leo Marvin. That would have been pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Patrick
Richard-
Stewart's done more comedy in his later years than he did back then.
Richard Dreyfuss is really good at coming across as arrogant versus Patrick Stewart. So
Big time.
that piece of the
Yeah.
character, I think, was right casting. I mean, Richard Dreyfuss have come out lately, and he's been a little bit
Yeah,
off the
he's
deep end,
A
unfortunately.
little bit.
I don't think I could picture Patrick Stewart being that angry either. Gene Hackman would have been good.
Ooh, Hackman would have been great. Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss did say, though, in a 2009 interview that people were like, so what about Bob? How did that go? He goes, well, it was a terribly unpleasant experience. Bill Murray was, and I did not get along. But I got to say, he makes me laugh. And even though he makes me laugh, I'm jealous that he's a better golfer than I am.
He is a very good golfer.
That's what I've heard, yeah. There were a couple other actors considered for Dr. Leo Marvin, especially for the 90s, and some of these I think could have worked. It would have been interesting to see Michael Caine as Dr. Leo Marvin. I feel like it would have been more of like a Dirty Rotten Scoundrels scenario.
I was going to say, and since Frank Oz had directed him in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, it makes sense he thought of him. Yeah, I could see that.
James Caan was another one.
Yes, I could
totally see
definitely
James Caan.
Him getting super angry like that, that'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Jack Nicholson was another.
You know what's so funny? I can never picture Jack Nicholson with kids and being a father.
I know, isn't that weird? I literally never pictured that at all.
Yeah.
Another one was Chevy Chase and Kevin Kline and Alan Arkin were all considered for Dr. Leo Marvin.
Chevy Chase and Kevin Kline, I could see as the patient. I could see as Bob.
Definitely, yeah. Well, they originally wanted Robin Williams, but he was already committed to doing Fisher King with
Thank
Terry Gilliam,
God.
so he
That movie's
ended
incredible.
up passing on this project. Yeah, Fisher King is great. I don't know if I have that on my list. I should have that on my list.
You need to put
I
it
should
on
have
your
that
list.
on Criterion, really.
You
That movie's
absolutely need to put
awesome.
that on your list. Yeah.
Such a bitchin' movie.
I could either do Awakenings or maybe Miller's Crossing or something else.
Ooh. Yeah, go down the Robin Williams dramatic role
Yeah.
rabbit hole. That would be kind of fun.
Robin Williams is too lovable. So
Yeah, no, totally.
understanding
I
his
feel like it
family
totally would have
accepting
been.
him, I'd be like, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's Robin Williams. Yeah,
I'd
makes
bring him in
sense.
the house for dinner too.
Absolutely, yeah. Frank Oz actually was not the original choice to direct this movie. There were two other directors considered for this movie. One of them was Woody Allen because they thought maybe he could write, star, and direct like he normally does. But
Him
he
being
was
the
unable to
neurotic
get out of his
patient, I could
contract.
totally see.
Oh, big time. Yeah. I feel like that's the role he definitely would have been in, and somebody else would have been Leo Marvin.
Maybe he could admit his pedophilia.
Maybe! Gary Marshall was another one that was considered for directing, but he passed on it because his good friend at the time, Jim Henson, had passed away. So
Yeah.
Gary Marshall did not want to do the movie.
I wonder if Gary Marshall directing would have made the movie more wholesome.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
we
an
would have liked
interesting
it a
point.
little more.
Maybe, yeah. A couple other actors were considered for Bob Wiley. Eddie Murphy was one of them. That would have been
fun.
pretty interesting. Yeah, Eddie Murphy and Richard Dreyfuss could have been kind of fun.
Really funny.
There was another actress in consideration also for Faye Marvin, and I wonder if you might be able to guess who that actress was.
Give me a hint.
Early 90s.
Yeah, I was
Oh, boy.
Sigourney Weaver.
Ooh. No, she, oddly enough, her name does begin with an S. She was in movies.
Susan Sarandon.
No, not Susan Sarandon. She, well, I'll just tell you, it was Shelley Duvall. Shelley Duvall was
Oh,
in
God, I never would've
consideration to
guessed
play
that.
Faye Marvin.
That would
I
have been
didn't
a
think
great
so.
casting, though.
Yeah, it definitely would have. Others up for Bob Wiley. I'm just going to list this off, and the final one is going to be interesting. Steve Guttenberg.
No.
Jeff Goldblum.
No.
No. Dudley Moore. That makes no sense.
God, no.
Michael Keaton also makes
No.
no sense.
He would be the patient who kills the whole family.
Exactly, yeah. John Travolta was another one, and I don't
What?
even
No.
think that would have been good.
Possible.
These two, one of them I think yes, the other one I don't think so. Rick Moranis I think could have done it.
Totally.
I think he could have been pretty good.
Oh my
You don't
God,
think so?
him! Oh, I said totally. Him being neurotic.
Oh.
Think about how
Yeah.
neurotic as an accountant he was in Ghostbusters.
Exactly, yeah. I think Rick Moranis would have been great. And Dan Aykroyd was the other one. I don't see Dan Aykroyd in a role like that, personally.
I could see him as a therapist because he's good at being angry too.
Exactly, yes. I fully see that. And the last one that was considered for Bob Wiley, and my last piece of trivia for What About Bob, the star of your movie, coming up shortly, Martin Short.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, Martin Short could have totally done it.
That would have been perfect.
What About Bob was released on May 17th of 1991. It had a $39 million budget, and it grossed worldwide $63.7 million. If you care to check it out, it is not streaming anywhere. You can rent it, though, on Amazon or Apple for $3.99, or you can buy it for $14.99. I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger and buy it. I would have been upset about that one. Yeah.
Wait, you said it was the highest grossing movie in 91?
The highest grossing live-action Disney movie.
Disney movie, okay.
Touchstone was the company that released this.
That's right. Touchstone was a great company.
Yeah, they were.
I really
always
like the
loved
stuff they released.
the Touchstones. Yeah.
Yeah, the
so
logo.
cool.
That was always so cool too.
And we haven't done this in a very long time, but I'm curious, V, if you might be able to guess the highest grossing domestic box office of 1991.
91. 92 was Batman Returns. What the hell was released in 91? Give me a hint.
It's a sequel.
Oh, God. Oh, is it the... No, Addams Family Values was 92. Shit. You gotta give me another hint.
There are 6 other movies of them, I believe, now.
6 others? That's a lot.
I believe so, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
damn
think
it.
there's actually 6 now, yeah.
Fast and Furious came out too late for me to guess that. So did
Yeah, it did.
Transformers. Urgh, 6 of them. That's not Lethal Weapon because there's only been 4.
No. And this is worldwide and domestic box office highest grossing film of 1991. It was the same movie. Sequel... You've done one movie by this director. I've done one movie by this director. Both of the one that you did was starring Ed Harris.
James Cameron.
Yep.
Terminator 2.
Yep.
Oh, God, thank God.
That's it.
You mean the
That is
movie that I
1991.
picked only a couple months ago? God damn it.
Oh yeah, that is your pick for the beginning of this year. Yeah, we started off this year with a bang.
We need to do highest grossing more often because I'm rusty.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, I think it's time now to jump into your pick from 1991, starring an actor that I just mentioned.
Yes, Martin Short.
Let's do it.
This movie also stars Danny Glover, Harry Shearer, and a couple other actors you probably recognize, but they've just been around in several things over the 90s. And just like your movie, it was released in 1991. And just like your movie, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. This film is called Pure Luck.
And I had never seen it. I had never even heard of it, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I used to love this movie as a kid, and I was actually really looking forward to rewatching it. And I had a really good time. It's nothing it's not hilarious.
No, it's not.
There are solid laughs a couple times in the movie, and then it was just consistently funny where I was chuckling, right? And I wanted to see where it went, and I wanted to see what other hijinks these people would get into because it was ridiculous. So
Right.
overall, I liked it. I did like it more than your movie. I don't think I ever need to watch this film again, but
That's for sure.
I wouldn't be upset if somebody asked me to. So I did like it a little bit more than yours, but yeah, I left. I turned off the movie when it ended. I was like,
Yeah, very yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's all right.
If I were
not
flipping through the
terrible.
channels and it was like on AMC or Turner Classic Movies or something, maybe. But
yeah, but then I'd
there's-
probably change the channel as soon as a commercial came on because I wasn't that invested.
very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I was looking forward to introducing it to John just because of the physical comedy in it. And the reason
Yeah.
why is because we open up a woman named Valerie who's an heiress. Her father runs a very large company and they have lots and lots of money. She's going to Mexico and she calls her father and he hurriedly gets out of a meeting. He seems very worried about the situation. And the first thing he asks his daughter is, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, Daddy, I'm fine. I just got to my hotel. It's beautiful. Everything's okay." And he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" So clearly there's a history here that we don't quite know about yet. And she's like, "No, everything's okay. My luggage got a little banged up, but that's okay." And the camera cuts to her luggage and it's just trashed.
Yeah.
And she's saying how beautiful the hotel is, and she's down in Cabo, and she's saying, oh, there's a man outside my balcony, he's working, and she leans over and she falls out of this, like...
That made me fucking I was like, what the what? Like, that was pretty wild. I did not see that coming at all.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, it escalates very quickly. And the good news is that she falls into an awning and she's totally fine. And she just tells her father, oh, no, it's okay, Daddy. We just got disconnected. And he's like, oh, thank God. And he seems so exhausted and so frazzled about his daughter traveling. And I should send someone down. And clearly he's worried that she's not safe. And she says it's okay and that she's going to go shopping and maybe take some pictures later. And so what proceeds is her going through the hotel and then into this small town. Because back then, Cabo in the early 90s wasn't the tourist destination as much as it is now. It's much bigger now. And I was actually just there a couple months ago. But
yeah,
there's a series of things that happens. You're like, oh, maybe she's accident prone or something, right? You're starting to get a sense.
Right, yeah.
And she goes down the street and starts taking pictures, and a couple guys spot her and decide to rob her. So they hop on their little moped, hit her over the head, knock her out, and that's exactly what they do. They take her camera. So she's knocked out in the street, and a man named Grimes, who's actually an American, finds her and rouses her and says, hey, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. Okay, well, who are you? Where are you from? I don't know. Valerie has amnesia, which was also a popular trope in the 90s.
It really was.
Yeah. And Grimes then looks through her wallet, so clearly he's not on the up and up either. And he's like, well, let's get you inside to some shade. Let's get you in water. Let's get you cooled off. And he shuffles her into his car and he leaves. And so now Valerie's gone. And her father, who is very wealthy, hires everyone to go looking for her. And now it's been over a month and they've lost the trail. Nobody knows where she is. And this is where Harry Shearer comes in, because he is the company's psychologist and he goes and talks to Highsmith, that's the father's name, about how none of these private eyes have found anything. The cops haven't found anything. And it's because they're regular people. Valerie's not. In fact, she has the worst luck ever. If something bad can happen, it's gonna happen to her. So what we need is a person with similarly bad luck. And there's a man named Proctor, Eugene Proctor, played by Martin Short, who works in this company, who's had a crazy life, super unlucky. And he talks about getting choked by his own umbilical cord. He's been struck by lightning twice, once inside.
That was great.
He's fallen down an elevator shaft, like on and on it goes. This man has horrible luck. And if we put him on Valerie's trail, maybe his bad luck will lead us to her. And to
it's a brilliant idea.
It actually is. I really like the concept. And to help him out, we're going to have a private eye follow him and go along with him to just make sure he knows the lay of the land. This man is fluent in Spanish and he carries a gun and all these things. He'll protect Proctor, right? And that's actually played by Danny Glover. And this private eye is named Ray Campanella. So we bring Proctor into the big boardroom, and that's a great scene, by the way, with the chairs. Yes. Yeah. And they explain to him, hey, you know what? You're tenacious. We've seen your work here. You're great at problem solving. We're going to assign you to Valerie's case. And he's like, well, I don't have any experience. It's okay. We're going to pay you a lot of money. I'm sure you're going to do great. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And this is Ray Campanella. He's going to join you. He's going to be your assistant, right? But in reality, they tell Danny Glover that, look, we're going to tell him that you're his assistant, but you're running the show. Obviously, you're in charge. And what proceeds is them traveling down to Mexico, but not quite, because...
Yeah.
First, Eugene Proctor sets himself on fire with a match, trying to light Ray's cigarette on the way to the airport.
Yeah, that was good.
Then he runs into a glass door and concusses himself, basically. And they're going to be late. Oh my gosh, they're going to be late. But then he's called to the luggage desk, and his luggage is messed up. And so it turns out they're going to miss their flight down to Cabo. So now they've been delayed and they actually have to have a layover into another city in Mexico. And he passes out in that airport, and they talk about how, oh God, a couple weeks ago, somebody did the exact same thing. It was this woman. And it clicks for Ray, and he's like, oh my gosh, maybe it's Valerie. And that sets them on the trail of Valerie. And every single mishap that Eugene Proctor has leads them closer and closer. And finally they hook up with Grimes, and he's like, oh my God, this was a nightmare. She cleaned me out. She broke everything. She ruined everything. She took all my money. I thought I was going to be able to hold her for ransom and find out who her family is. But of course she has amnesia. And so now I'm totally screwed. And that's a really funny scene as well. And I love the scene at the restaurant where Ray is finally starting to believe that this guy actually has the worst luck ever. And he tests it out with a salt shaker. shaker, and I've always
salt
remembered
shaker was
that
good.
scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And it just goes on, and most of it's physical comedy, and most of it's really funny. I do like those scenes. But the problem is that Danny Glover and Martin Short don't play off each other as well. The chemistry isn't there for them to be likable. They just seem like they're fighting, and it's just awkward to watch, right?
It can be, yeah.
But I did like the scene in the bar where Eugene is thinking that this woman's hitting on him, and Ray's like,
"That was great.
No, man, don't do this, don't do this." He's like, "Leave.
Yeah.
She's nervous around you. You're an intimidating guy. You need to leave. I'll take care of it." What a moron. So there's some really good scenes in this movie, and like I said, it was consistently humorous, which I appreciated. It was nice that during the revisit, I didn't explicitly hate it. So I'm happy I revisited it. I'm happy I introduced it to John. Even if he hated it, I know it's going to be a good discussion.
Well, I definitely didn't hate it. I enjoyed my time with it. I think it was like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. They could have shaved a little
15,
bit off of it.
10?
Yeah, there's always fluff going on in movies like this, especially from the 90s. But like you said, the scene where they're in the bar was very entertaining. Especially when he's like, "Hey, if you go up there and you ask her if she's a prostitute, if she's not, I'll give you $50." Like, that was pretty good. And
I was thinking the other scene in the bar when he's dancing. That's funny too.
Oh, yeah. I actually did not remember that until just now.
That's also a funny scene.
Yeah, that was pretty funny too. The lead up to everything was pretty wild with Valerie and all of her clumsiness. Like that, when I first started watching it and like her shoe gets stuck, I was kind of like, well, okay, all right, so her shoe's stuck, and then of course it spirals out of control and like falling out the window. That was just absolutely ridiculous. I did not see that coming at all. That was pretty funny. I liked the concept of Harry Shearer's character being like, we have to have two unlucky people because for whatever reason this could lead us to her, and I like how they end up at that poker game with the guy that actually does kidnap her.
Oh my god, and then they keep having to come back. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Some people just don't have a really good eye for faces.
Yeah. And it really kind of reminded me of Midnight Run in a way. Like, with the dynamic between Martin Short and Danny Glover. Like, Glover was definitely the Robert De Niro character. But yeah, it's fine. I give it like a C. I wouldn't give it a C plus or a C minus. Definitely not an A or a B. It's a C movie.
I
like
what about
Martin
Bob
Short.
Is more like a D.
I mean, that is just that's a D-er. But it was fine. I rented it on Apple, I think, for $3.99. I think that's about what it's worth at this point. It's 30 plus years old now. While Martin Short and Danny Glover are fun to watch, it didn't seem like they really were connecting too much.
It also didn't
and maybe that
seem
was
like
on
they
purpose.
were having a good time.
No,
which is okay,
and I feel like
underneath the surface, right? Because obviously their characters are not having a good time. Duh.
Right.
But in terms of
But they are shooting in Mexico. It looked hot as fuck.
It did look hot. Yeah, and it was actually in Mexico, unlike The Three Amigos, which takes place in Mexico but was not shot in Mexico. It didn't have a vibe, that energy that we feel from movies where it's like, oh, it just seemed like a lot of fun to make. Right?
Exactly. That is. I did not get that for a second this movie was playing for me. I will say I like that we get our first glimpse at Jiminy Glick in this movie. I thought that was pretty funny. The makeup was pretty wild. And there were a couple moments even before they get on the plane where I kind of got a little confused. I was like, what is happening here? Like, is Danny Glover giving Martin Short away to this guy to kill him or something?
No. So he finally believes that Martin Short has bad luck. He finally believes that this is true.
Oh, okay.
And so he refuses to get in a small plane with him because he thinks that the plane's going to crash because her plane crashed, right?
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
they've been following her the whole time. So he's saying
like,
goodbye to him, and I'm not going.
Right. Okay. See, now that's funny. Now I get it. For whatever reason, that did not resonate with me when I watched it. Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. It's better than What About Bob, but that's not saying a whole lot.
No.
It's just This is an episode.
Yeah.
I feel weird with this episode.
I know, me too.
I was so excited to talk comedies.
I know, me too.
No, I'm not recommending either of these movies to anybody. I'm not going to text my parents and be like, you guys should watch Pure Luck.
Rewatch your copy of What About Bob.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to recommend either of these movies to anybody. And it's going to be interesting to hear what our audience has to say. I'm curious, especially what Steve will have to say, because we'll just see.
Well, and one thing we can do is ask our audience for movies that they loved when they were growing up and then rewatched as an adult and just got disappointed, and we're like,
Yeah.
I should list those movies for us. Which ones did you realize should have stayed in childhood? Like The Three Ninjas.
Three Ninjas.
No, I know those movies are terrible, though.
Hey, they might be now, but I did love the Three Ninjas movies back in the day.
My brother
so
and I
much. The first one,
Loved
awesome.
them. Yeah, the first one's amazing. No, that's totally fair, and I figured it would be either, you thought it was much funnier than I, or about the same, so I get it. And
Yeah.
Martin Short actually stated in an interview with Larry King that the idea for the look of his Jiminy Glick character came from that fat suit.
Perfect.
Yeah. And as far
See,
as
I love the Jiminy Glick character. I really do. The interviews are so funny.
oh my gosh, if you like Between Two Ferns, you need to watch Jiminy Glick interviews, because it's
Definitely.
very similar
Yes.
style of being just deadpan and just ridiculous. And we've actually talked about Martin Short once before because he voiced the robot in Treasure Planet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We haven't discussed Danny Glover yet, but we will again in the future because I will be picking Lethal Weapon for one of my Christmas episodes. There are two other movies outside of Lethal Weapon that I do really like Danny Glover in. One is Shooter with Mark Wahlberg that I will be introducing to you at a later date, even though I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, I do like this movie. And the other one is super underrated that my dad introduced me to. It's a thriller called Switchback with Dennis Quaid. That at some point...
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, it very much the vibe of Insomnia.
Oh, cool. All right.
So at some point I'll probably introduce it to you. And then Harry Shearer, this was really cool. He's playing the psychologist in this movie, but he also plays a doctor in a show that's very well known. Harry Shearer is the voice in The Simpsons of Mr. Burns, Smithers,
Oh, wow.
Principal
Whoa.
Skinner, and Dr. Julius Hibbert.
I don't know the last one, but I know the other ones.
Yeah. He also is the news anchor Kent Brockman.
No idea who that is either. But wait, no, the news anchor. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
And there's actually a clip online of him on a talk show where he does all of those voices in a row. It's very fun. Very talented, and people don't talk about him like they talk about Hank Azaria, so I wanted to give him a shout out.
That's true, yeah.
And this movie was actually written by a duo, Herschel Weingrod and Timothy Harris. They wrote Trading Places, Twins, Kindergarten Cop, and Space Jam.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Not a bad track record.
No, not at all. And couldn't find very many pieces of trivia for this movie, which is kind of par for the course of this episode, so that's all right. And as we all know, we usually can't find a lot of trivia for comedies. Still don't know why that is. But Highsmith, Valerie's father, there's a line in the movie where he has insured a world-famous pianist Hans for $8 million.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit later on in the movie, in Danny Glover's first scene, he's reading a newspaper with the headline, "Renowned pianist's hands broken in freak accident."
Oh, snap.
Which I thought was a nice little Easter egg. And you probably saw this in the beginning of the movie. The film's score is by Danny Elfman.
I did see that, yeah.
However, he only scored the film's theme, and he had someone who was working for him score the rest of the movie because he was overbooked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Jonathan Sheffer scored the rest of the film after the theme. It's like
Nice.
a ghostwriter
I don't
with
think
novels.
I know that name.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, right?
And lastly, which is a tie-in to your movie as well, or at least a very similar piece of trivia to your movie, Rick Moranis was considered early on for the role of Eugene Proctor.
Oh, all right. Nice.
But unfortunately, his wife was terminally ill with cancer when filming began, and he dropped out. He also dropped out of City Slickers.
Oh, damn.
And then he retired from acting for quite a long time to raise his children, and now he's back doing Spaceballs 2, which is great to see him.
Yeah, seems like he's very happy to be back.
Yeah, everybody in Hollywood has always said he's a really good dude. And what do you think the budget was for this movie?
Oh, boy. Danny Glover, Martin Short, location shooting. I'm going to say $17 million.
You're cheating. You're so
No, I'm not.
cheating. I don't believe you.
Nope, not even
you're
at all.
The biggest cheater ever.
Not even for a second.
The budget was
Did I get it
$17
right?
million.
Wow. Nope, no cheating at all. I don't look. That's the whole, that's the, what's it, honor system that we have chosen upon ourselves to not look at budget or worldwide gross or domestic box office. Never look at yours.
The funny thing is, considering I've known you for almost 30 years, you'd think I'd be able to tell when you're lying your ass off.
I guess, but I'm not lying.
No, in general, though. I'm just saying, in terms of our friendship.
Whoa.
But you don't lie very often.
No.
So in the U.S., it made $22 million, and worldwide, it made $25.
Yeah.
So it didn't do great. And it's
Oh,
rated
all right.
super poorly.
Oh, I can imagine.
But I actually thought it was an enjoyable time. I didn't feel like I was wasting my hour and 40 minutes. I'm glad you watched it for the first time. Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are our 2 mediocre movies this week.
Yeah. A little bit on the lighter side.
It was, and we needed that, and that's why we picked these movies, and it was good to revisit them just because it reminds us that sometimes things should be left in the past.
That is for sure.
And now I'll ask the question, would you watch What About Bob with your grandma?
No, I don't think I would.
No.
I don't think my grandmother would enjoy that one at all.
No.
And for you, would you watch Pure Luck with your grandmother?
I mean, I probably did at one point. This was also in circulation in my household when I was a child, but no, there are just so many other movies I can watch now that I'm older.
Yeah, very true.
So the good news is next week, we teased about this in our last episode. Unfortunately, we changed the schedule on you guys. But next week, we are going Western, and we already mentioned what we're doing. John, you want to remind everybody?
Yeah, let's do it. I am doing the 2007 masterpiece from Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano, There Will Be Blood. If you have not seen it and care to follow along, you can rent it on Apple or Amazon, or you can also just watch it on Paramount+. I will watch my DVD copy.
Now, this will be 2 weeks in a row. Interesting conversation. I watched this when I was much younger, 20 years ago when it first came out, and I haven't seen it since, and I hated it then. I wonder if we'll have a flip of this week where I actually like it now if I watch it.
If you watch it?
Well, when? I gotta watch it for the episode.
When you watch it. Yeah, no, I'm curious to see what you think. I've never seen your pick, so I'm looking forward to that one. I've been wanting to see your pick for years, so I'm glad that I now have an excuse.
I'm so glad too, especially because I think the way it's created, all the components that came together to make this movie, I think you'll really enjoy that movie-making aspect of it. I do think the story is really good too. I am talking about a long-titled movie called The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, and I'm really looking forward to you watching it.
As am I.
So remember, folks, stay tuned every week for updates and content from us, but our episodes will be going to every other week for the rest of the year. So next week, we will have an update for you for all the new movies we've seen in theaters or on streaming.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for joining us. Please feel free to reach out on social media anytime if you want to talk, have questions or feedback for us. We'd love to hear from you. Or let us know if you unabashedly love either of these movies. I'd love to hear that.
I would absolutely love to know who has seen either one of them.
And until next time, we will still always end with film is a form of art, and in art, every opinion is valid, except if you think
psychopaths getting close to family members is a trope that we continue to need.
Oh, yeah. That's a good except if you think. Thank you for calling that out. All right, everyone. We'll catch up with you next week when we talk about the new movies we've seen.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, everybody!